want to start here, inshallah, by introducing myself to you all. My name is Sister Khaldiya Mustafa. I am from Al Ghazali High School. I also privately do college prep for students that are going through high school and beyond. I know there's a lot of young kids, but it's never too early to start your growth mindset and to become the best student that you can become, inshallah. Right? Everybody here is okay with English? Yes? Inshallah. So what you need to know about preparing for college, that's what I want to talk to you today. I know a lot of you might have some questions, but I want you to wait for those questions, inshallah. After we're done with the presentation, you're welcome to ask any questions, inshallah. I actually have some students here who were my students many years ago. Ahmed Shifa over there graduated, I believe it was 2012, yes, mashallah. So the college application process really does take a lot of time and a lot of energy, and I want to show you how you can be the best applicant that you can be when you begin your college, inshallah, career. And I asked some questions. There was some 6th and 7th graders and 8th graders. This is the time that you're building your character, inshallah, and your identity as a student. So when you're in school, you have to also advocate for yourself and make sure that your school is helping you to get ready for college and that you're in the right path to success. Academic success in all schools, whether it's public school, Islamic school, private school, charter schools, it's your job as well to find out what their curriculum is and to see if it's something that you want to continue and graduate from that school and become successful, inshallah. So academic success comes from the classes that you're taking, right? The courses that you're taking, your work habits, your work ethic, your attendance at school, right? All these things are very, very important because that's going to make you a good student. If you're absent once or twice a week or 2-3 times a month, you're missing a lot. You're coming late to class, you're missing first period. That's not a good idea because you're missing out on information that really might be important for you. So work ethic, attendance, you know, what you're studying. You also need to have the social and emotional support in your school, from your guidance counselors, from your teachers, from your parents at home. Have to really be there for their kids, especially now. It is a difficult time for students after the COVID and after studying online and everything that happened. Now you guys are getting back to the normal. Everything's becoming more normal. You're getting tested more, no more online. It's different now. So you really, really have to get that support and encouragement to keep on studying and why it's important to study and be a good student, right? And you also have to have caring people around you for you to be successful. In Al Ghazali High School, I was there for many, many years. I was also at the elementary Al Hikmah, and we really, really try to raise students that understand what to do when they graduate, when they go to college. They're successful, alhamdulillah, and we want all our youth to be that way. That's why I'm here. When Sister Suha asked me to come, I said, of course. I would love to help anyone that needs help, inshallah. And afterwards, if you need help, I will also be here to answer any questions. So college and career is a very important part of, especially if you're in high school now. Do I have high schoolers in the room? Good, like 9th, 10th, 11th graders. Any seniors? Not yet, inshallah. But hopefully there's some that are listening online that really are planning for their college applications, planning for their resume to be prepared, inshallah, when you are applying, that you are a good candidate for the colleges to actually accept you into all the special programs, so many great universities and colleges out there that you need to research. It takes work. And that's why I'm saying it's not too early. Even if you are in middle school, it's not too early. Even if you are in kindergarten and you learn how to be a good student, you're going to always be a good student. Don't be lazy. Don't do your homework. Listen to your teachers. Listen to your parents. Islamic character is actually, for me, more important than all of the learning, more important than all of the education. It's your akhlaq and your adab. That's even more important as you grow and become a student that's going to the university. Because there we're going to be role models as Muslims, right? We are Muslim. Look at our behavior. Look at our character. We are bright, young, and we fear Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in everything we do. And when we seek knowledge, what are we doing? We are obeying who? Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Because He told us you must seek knowledge, right? All the time. Keep learning, and share that knowledge. Don't just keep it to yourself. Share the knowledge, inshallah. I know I did something for middle schoolers, and now when I'm in the high school this year, I'm going to be working only with the 7th, 8th graders and 9th graders to make sure that they're ready when they get into high school and they go into the right classes, they're ready for college, and it is the foundation for your high school. It's like, you know, that thing when you build a house, if the bottom isn't strong, it's going to fall, right? So if the bottom part is built strong when you're doing Legos, right? A lot of you probably build things. If you build it not strong at the bottom, when you get up here, it's going to fall. So you have to learn when you're young how to be a good student, how to get into the good. Be serious, right? Don't just say, I don't want to do my homework, I don't want to study, I don't want to do, no, you have to do that. That's your job right now as a young girl and a young boy, right? A young woman and a young man. That's your job. You're not working. I don't think anybody really here is working. Your families, mashallah, are taking care of you, right? And you must appreciate everything that they do for you. And no matter what school you're in, you can have good character. Don't let anybody tell you to be something you're not. Be proud of who you are, always. Character is so important, especially when you're in junior high school. Don't let anybody tell you to do something that's wrong. If you know it's wrong, you don't do it. Sah? Inshallah, you be strong all the time, and you be the leaders. Don't be followers. Do not be followers. Okay? And that's what I say here, seeking knowledge, right? When we're in school, what are we doing? Learning from our teachers. When we're at home, we're learning from our parents, right? You can learn so much. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala commanded us to read. The first word that came, right, to our Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam was what word? Iqra, right? اقرأ باسم ربك الذي خلق خلق الإنسان من علق اقرأ وربك الأكرم الذي علم بالقلم, right? Allah taught us how to use the pen, how to use our brain, right? All these beautiful things that we learn. And school is a big part of obeying Allah, right? But even more, don't forget the very important thing. You cannot be successful in school or anywhere unless you're focusing on your deen, focusing on your salawat. Don't forget ever your prayers, because without that, you can't be successful in school. I don't think so. You have to always, always, always remember, whenever you do something, you're doing it for who? For the sake of Allah. And you will be successful in anything that you do, inshallah, if you do that. Inshallah. So seeking knowledge empowers you, gives you knowledge, makes you smart, makes you competitive, it makes you really just a very strong person, inside and out, and in your iman and in your heart. And you can be a leader that way. And I want to see a lot of girls that become leaders and a lot of boys that become leaders in our community, inshallah. I see every year, alhamdulillah, kids graduating from our Islamic schools and from all the schools. And in my experience at Al-Ghazali, we graduate about 70 students per year. And mashallah, they go 100% to all of the colleges, four-year colleges, universities, scholarships, you name it, but it's hard work. You're not going to get it just by sleeping and not studying and, not doing your homework. So, for example, out of those 70 students, maybe about 5 of those will get into, maybe one of the community college or somewhere to start off, because they weren't smart, they weren't smart in their habits. And once they get to college, mashallah, they do great. And I have so many examples of students who are just every profession that you can think of: doctors, lawyers, engineers, teachers, activists, writers, authors. Even we have one that's an author. So I want you to decide what it is that you love to do and then build on it, inshallah. So what is the colleges looking for? So when you're in high school and you're ready to apply for college, usually that's starting at 12th grade, you're applying to college, but you're building your resume starting in the 9th grade. So if you're in 9th grade, it's very important for you to start building your resume. What does it mean to build a resume? Does anyone know what it means to build a resume or a portfolio? To build your own, I guess, Your own activities, your own, yeah, exactly. I'm so glad you said that because it's not only about the grades. Yes. Yes, a resume is a paper, but what is in that resume? Because when you're building your resume, what is in there? All your accomplishments, jazakallah khairan, everything you did, right? All the good courses you've taken, all the awards that you've won, right? You maybe were in Science Olympiad, you won. You made the principals list, you made the honor roll, you got an award from wherever, you did volunteer work. All of these things build your resume when you're in high school. And keep track of it. That's my advice to you, and I tell my students, keep track of everything that you're doing, so when you're ready for college, you have this beautiful portfolio, and when you meet with your admissions officers, they see it right in front of them. And when you're putting it in your application, all of the accomplishments, all of the things that you've done. And this also helps you to get accepted. It helps you to get more scholarships, because we want to help our parents, right? Because college is very expensive. So the better you do, the more money they will offer you. There's students who went on 100% paid. Did you have a scholarship, Ahmed? 80% at Stevens, right? And Stevens is a very expensive school, mashallah. I remember almost every student of mine and where they went, mashallah. So what is the college looking for? It's looking for the classes that you've taken in high school, okay? Whether it's honors courses, AP courses, right? Or just regular CP, which is called college placement courses. And we also offer dual enrollment courses where we are having a partnership with the university, and the kids take the class inside of our school, and they actually will get college credits in school as long as they earn a C or above in that course. We are working along with Fairleigh Dickinson University and Passaic County College at Al-Ghazali. I know that some of the schools here also do work with Hudson County, right? So every school can do a dual enrollment. Now, these classes that you take actually become college credits that you already started college while you were in high school. This is a good sign. So SATs and ACTs are standardized tests that you have to take for colleges to also accept you. Ever since COVID happened, they did make it optional to give that score or not, or just give your transcript with your GPAs and your grades and your recommendations. But I still recommend that you take the SATs, you take it, and try to do as well as you can, because at the end of the day, they still want to see a strong score that right away they'll take you once they see that score. So I recommend you still do it. ACT is another test that you can also take. That's equivalent to the SAT, either or they will accept. The transcript, I don't know if anyone knows what a high school transcript is. Does anyone of the high schoolers know what a high school transcript is? No? Well, this is the actual document that the school should provide to the college when you are applying to college. And what it has on it is your information, you know, your name and all of the things about you. And it also has your 9th grade year with your grades, your 10th grade year with all your courses and all the levels that you've taken, and all the grades, and a GPA for each year, 9, 10, and 11. Then, of course, you start 12th grade. Now, 12th grade in the beginning of the year is when you start the applications, so you don't have grades yet, right? So 12th grade, they don't see the grades until the mid-year and at the end of the year. So we always recommend that you still work hard, because the college sometimes, if they see bad grades in mid-year, bad grades at the end of senior year, they might not accept you. Even if they did accept you, they can take it back if you didn't do well. So you have to stay doing well in senior year and make sure that you're following that track. And your GPA is the cumulative score of your 4 years of high school. Okay, so all the 4 years with all the courses that you've had taken, and I know someone has asked me about how you can get a high school diploma if you're just homeschooling, and I can answer that question actually now. You can just make sure that you are taking every single course that's on the New Jersey Education Department website for requirements for New Jersey's high school diploma. If you take all those courses, for example, 4 years of English, 3 years of math, 3 years of science, 3 years of history, and some literacy and media and a few other things that are required, computer science and things like that. So you can look at the New Jersey Department of Education to find New Jersey requirements for high school students, right? What do I have to finish in order to achieve and get my diploma? So again, GPA, the higher, the better. Of course, they don't want to see somebody, we go on a 4.0, which is an A+ student. Some schools might go on a 5. We also weight it for those students who took honors classes, who took AP classes. It is weighted, so you get extra quality points on your GPA for every single honors or advanced placement class that you take. Does anyone know what advanced placement is? AP? The program AP, that's good, because those courses also make you competitive in colleges, especially if you get the good score at the end when you're done and you get that 4 or 5 in the course. It's also counted as college credits too if you get that score. So for now, the college essay and the statement that you write about yourself. All the colleges in the applications will ask you about who you are. Why are you coming to this school? Why should we accept you into this university? What's special about you? Why do you want to come here? So they want to know, and there's hundreds and thousands of applications going out, and now why are they going to choose you? You need to show yourself, present yourself in a way that, you know, hey, this is a great student. She's a great applicant. He's a great applicant. I want him in my university, right? So this is part of the academic stuff that you have to do to be well-rounded, but also very important is the extracurricular activities that you have to do. So extracurricular activities, you need to start from 9th grade. In some clubs, I'm not saying go in every single club in your school, but decide what it is that you enjoy doing. So for example, if you want to become a lawyer, you will go maybe in the Model United Nations Club. You will go in the mock trial club, right? Because that's going to show them this is a person that knows how to speak, knows how to debate, you know, oh yeah, they want to be a lawyer. We'll take them into our pre-law. If you want to be a doctor, inshallah. You can get into courses about medicine. You can go into mini med school in Rutgers, which is for high school students who want to become doctors. It's about, I think, a 6 or 7 week course that you take there, and you are actually practicing and understanding what it is to be a doctor. And if you take that course and you really want to be one, and you're shadowing doctors, and you're doing all these things to build your resume because you want to become a doctor, when you apply to college and high school, you can actually get accepted into programs that take you right into medicine. You do your 3 years undergrad because it's accelerated if you get accepted, and you do 4 years of med school. You don't even sometimes have to take the MCAT again. It's automatic, or you have to actually have an average score that when you do take the MCAT. There are programs, they're called accelerated programs for pre-medicine, for pre-dentistry, for pre-health, many programs you could research and ask your school counselors, if you have any, about those programs early on so you know what the requirements are. Like, what's the requirement to apply to become a doctor accelerated? It's very high. It's not that easy. You have to have really high scores in almost everything. But mashallah, we have a lot of very bright students in our community. We have a lot of very smart young men and women who do go into those programs. So if you want to do something, make sure that you follow that, you know, and that you know your reason. Like, why do I want to become a doctor? Why do I want to become a nurse? Why do I want to become a teacher, right? Remember those reasons, like why? Why do I want to become a doctor? So I can have a big giant mansion and have all these cars, I'll be rich. But what are you going to do with that money? You're going to have to be asked about that, right? You have to realize, oh, maybe I'm going to do it so I can help people, right? I'm going to do it so I can have more money to give people money, to make people healthier, right? You have to know your reason why you want to do the things that you do. And you also have to love it and have a passion for it. Don't go become a doctor if you hate biology, because then you're not going to like studying all that biology. And then by the time you're in senior year or junior year in college, you're like, I got to change my major. I don't think I want to do this anymore. So really research before you do it. That's why I'm talking to you as young kids, because you need to actually think about it. And you need to research with your parents and research online and ask people who know and ask counselors in your school. Don't just sit around and wait till you're a 12th grader and you don't know what to do. You don't want to do that. And then you don't have a really good application. So as I was saying, extracurricular, activities, volunteer at your masjid. I'm sure a lot of you do volunteer, mashallah, work, and you maybe feed the homeless, and you do collections, maybe to give the poor, in other underprivileged countries, right? We raise money. What else can you volunteer? Volunteer at the hospital if you want to be a doctor. Volunteer in a doctor's office, in a nursing home to help the elderly. You can do many, many different things to volunteer, and I think in high school times you should maybe do at least 150 to 200 hours in your 4 years of high school. So if you do weekends, if you do, you can accumulate those hours, but also the place you volunteer in, make sure they give you a document signed with how many hours you did, and put that in the portfolio that I told you about before. So your guidance counselor has to give you recommendation letters to the college and your teachers. So you want to be good students so your teachers can say good things about you when they write the recommendation letter for you to go to college, because that is very important. When they look at the whole picture of you, the grades, the extracurriculars, what the teacher said about you, all these things will make you that person that they, oh yeah, that's a good student. I want that student. Yes? Can you say that again? I didn't understand the question.
How I can know what teachers say during board progress.
Okay, so what your
Yeah.
teachers say about you, you mean?
Yes.
During your progress reports?
Yeah.
While you're in high school?
Yes.
It should be on your report.
Yeah, usually they just put the grades, not really putting information about it much.
Well, I mean, usually you would have, the teacher would write it if they wanted to. I don't know if your school makes it mandatory to write, notes about you or recommendations about you. But what I'm talking about as a recommendation letter is when you apply to college, the college will ask the school, the counselor, they will ask the teacher for a letter. Is this a good student?
Will they ask the all over 4 years teachers?
Well, you know what? The good thing is you get to choose the teacher that you want to write you the letter. So maybe you were a really great student in math, so you say, math teacher, please, I need a recommendation letter for my college. Now they do everything online.
Can we choose more than one?
You can choose more than one, but you have to see what the college is asking for. So some colleges will ask for one letter from anyone. Some colleges will ask for one letter from math or science, one letter from English or history teacher. So some might want two, some might want only one, and I even have colleges that don't want any recommendation letters, like Rutgers. They don't want any recommendations. They just want to look at your grades, your extracurriculars, and you tell them everything about you, and then they don't ask for recommendations. Usually teachers will give a good letter. They usually will give a very good letter recommending that the student is an excellent student in my class. She gives a lot to the setting of the classroom. She makes the students, she works well with her peers, she works well with the teachers, she volunteers, all these nice things that, teachers can say about you. But then again, if you're good with all your teachers, then you can pick anyone you want, right? Inshallah. So but that's my point. Just make sure you are good examples, make sure you work hard, make sure you have good ethics, right, and good values. And also, colleges might ask you to do interviews as an applicant. Not all of them will, but some of them do a lot of interviewing. So you have to be ready to answer questions like, why do you want to come to my college? Why should I choose you? And, all these questions. What's your favorite book? Sometimes they'll ask you, what's your favorite book? Because they want to know what type of reader you are, or, that kind of thing. Did I answer your question? And then I talked about creating your high school resume and portfolio, right? And it's good to know where you want to apply. It's good to know where you want to apply, because then you research that school and all the requirements early on and make sure you're meeting those requirements. And the college essay, very important. This is the one that they really says who you are, right? And so there's a lot of help out there. And in your school, hopefully your teachers are helping, your English department is helping you understand how to make a college essay, what the colleges are looking for. But there's also a lot of information and resources online about how to write a college essay, how to be a good student, in the eyes of the college. So you can research those things. And I mean, it's kind of, I know I have some high schoolers and I hope some are listening. The common application is an application that You fill out one time, and you can send it to about 20 universities at the same time, and you don't have to send each one individually. So this helps a lot the students, and it helps the schools a lot, and it's very easy. You just go in there. I know that some kids think it's hard because they don't want to fill it all out, but we work with our students one-on-one. We do group counseling, and by the time they're in, alhamdulillah, I think we already have 50% of our students accepted to the colleges, and others are just waiting for decisions, getting scholarships, mashallah. So it's really good to be focused, to be ready, to understand what it takes to be a good student and be a good applicant for colleges. Yes. Yeah, I'm going to talk about that as well, because the different ways to apply. Every university has their own, types of applications. There's early decision, and there is rolling admissions, and then there is priority, deadlines that you meet. But the early decision one, actually, if you're almost here in 12th grade, is that you pick the one college that you really, really want to go to, and you decide, this is the university I want. This is a binding decision. If they accept you, you only are allowed to go to that college and drop all your other applications. But there's also other types of early decision that's not binding, and you apply by November 1st, and you get your answer before, I think, the new year, and so you're accepted. Like I know we had one of our students accepted to UPenn, the Wharton School, the business school, on early decision this year. So it's really important to know what you want. So he knew what he wanted, so I'm going to apply. I'm going to apply. Oops, sorry. So Common Application is a very good resource, a good source to get your applications out and not be tedious, because before it used to be like Montclair, fill an application to Montclair, Rutgers, NJIT, Fairleigh Dickinson, Princeton, Harvard, Yale, whatever you want to apply to, Stevens. And you're doing 100 applications, filling out your information every single time. With the Common Application, you're going to just put, okay, my name is Maryam so-and-so, I live here, blah, blah, blah. One time. All that information is going, the essay is going once, everything's going once. At the same time, going to all the colleges, the counselor who is filling out your recommendation does it once, goes to all the schools. Teacher, one goes to all the schools. So, but not every single university is on Common App, but many of them are. Many of them are joining. I know that the Ivy Leagues are all on there pretty much, mostly. And you have NJIT, and you have Montclair, and Fairleigh Dickinson, and Seton Hall, William Patterson, from the schools around here. But I know Rutgers is not on I think they might have joined it this year, the Common App. But they always had their own application process, which was different than this one. How can you get a scholarship? Again, the way you get a scholarship is really, really, if you want a merit-based scholarship, merit means based on your grades, your GPA and your SAT. Now it could be only GPA and courses and everything you've taken, and they can offer the scholarship based on that. So I know, for example, there's schools that say if you have a 1450 on your SAT and you have at least a 91 or above on your GPA, then we're going to give you a full scholarship. We're going to give you the presidential scholarship. So you can actually get full tuition scholarships, and you can apply to honors colleges as well. You could apply to honors colleges and get into the schools almost free if you actually really worked hard during your whole 4 years of high school, not only in 1 year, because remember, it's a cumulative GPA, where they're taking the GPA from all the 4 years, and the higher, the better. Wa alaikum assalam, Brother Hamadi. Kif halak? Allah yabarak feek. Jazakallah khair. It's nice to see you. Allah yasalamak. Do you want to use the mic? Do you have to, so I'm going to tell you the two different types of scholarships. So the merit-based ones, that you don't have to sign up for it. It's automatic based on your grades. But then there's private scholarships that you can actually apply for. They will send you in your acceptance letter, acceptance package. You'll get a nice big package in the mail with the university on it, and then you'll have, okay, congratulations, you were accepted into the School of whatever, Arts and Sciences. You will be receiving a $20,000 per year annual scholarship. Now, when you receive that scholarship, you'll get it that first year, but there's also requirements that you must keep in order not to lose that scholarship. Because if your GPA goes below the minimum requirement of keeping that scholarship, you will lose it. So if they say you need to have a minimum of a 3.0 or you lose your scholarship, that happens. So you have to make sure.
When will they send you the paper of scholarship or anything?
When, like I said, depends on when you apply. Like he asked me the question, early decision, you'll get it early. If you wait and like until January and you apply, you're probably going to find out by maybe March, April, May. But if
But
you do it early
does it have to be a specific grade like you have to be in? It
yes,
just,
and 12th graders who are applying to college.
yeah, but I'm just saying because I'm a 10th grader, so can I apply right now or
No, you cannot apply right now because you don't meet the requirements for the college to be able to accept you. You have to have 4 years of English and all these different things, right? So if you met all of those as a 10th grader, which I know people who have finished in 10th grade on their own and went to college. We have many students who graduate in 11th grade because they go and take extra classes, they take math and English and meet all the requirements by 11th grade and then they graduate. We had actually about 10 students do that last year. I don't know how many are doing it this year, but every year we have about 2, 3, 4, or 5 or more students.
My school doesn't allow for me like to get geometry and algebra too or anything like that. I have to take everything by every year, you know?
Yes,
like
but
they're
you can get your
required.
own independent study. You can get your courses online, wherever you want, and as long as it's from an accredited school, online or anywhere, go to a community college and finish it. As long as you have all those courses done, you can actually apply for your high school diploma if you met all of the requirements before 12th grade.
Okay, thank you.
But applying to college is usually done in 12th grade unless you did everything before and you graduated early. Okay? But scholarships merit, and then you have scholarships that are private. Merit you don't apply for, they come automatic with your application when you get your decision. And the other application, the other one you actually have to search for on your own and apply. You know, like I know, for example, in many of our community centers, maybe this center has a scholarship for students, you can apply. I know that we have PAC Center that has scholarships. We have scholarships that are private from companies, from maybe your parents' work. You know, they offer their children a scholarship. So you have to find out from your parents' work, if I have a child going to college, do you offer any type of scholarships? Because I know many places do that give $5,000 or $3,000 or $2,000. But to get full scholarships, it's really about your grades. It really is about your grades. Yes. I think they put you on probation the first time that you went below the number that is required to keep your scholarship. But then after that, you might lose it. They'll give you that one semester to try to bring it back up. And if you bring it back up, you will get it. And then I don't think you can apply again for another one afterwards unless you find private ones and you have better grades and you go back to the counselors and try to apply again. But they can lose scholarships if your grades go down. So this is just information about me, usually that I have to give to the students. Your counselors will give you that, hopefully, and you can apply for your college that way. What I told them a lot about already, what it requires to become a good student, the well-rounded student, right? Who remembers what the well-rounded student looks like? Anybody? What's good things to put in your resume? Yes. Volunteering, yes. Extracurriculars, good grades, right? SATs, the course selections that you're in your school. All of these things will matter, but then also very important to them is your GPA. I cannot stress that enough, especially for those kids who are looking to get scholarships so we could help our parents, because college. Well, we usually give the GPA after the 4th marking period is done and we finalize grades. You get your 9th grade GPA, you get your 10th grade GPA, you get your 11th grade GPA, but then we do the cumulative after 11th grade because college actually will begin application process once you start 12th grade. Once you're in 12th grade, you're starting. As I said, we also have 11th graders who graduate early. They're also applying that year of junior year, but they have to finish their extra courses in the summer and come back with the transcripts proving that they finished the requirements. So they also apply. Okay, and then usually they ask for ranks. We do not rank in our school. We don't do first place, second place, whatever it is. I think valedictorian, salutatorian. We don't do that. We actually rank by percentile, so we can give more chances to students to be number one at the top of their class. So a lot of kids will graduate with a 4.3, a 4.2 and above, even though the GPA is out of 4, they're getting the weighted because of the extra hard courses that they've taken. So they graduate with actually above 100 that way, right? So that's the student that really, really looks well for scholarships and for programs that are very competitive. Yes?
On your resume, let's say like you're in student council or like you have a position like vice president or president, would you include that in your resume?
Oh, of course. You have to really sell yourself, right? You have to show yourself off a little bit. You know, we never want to be like arrogant, right? That's not something that Muslims should ever be, but you have to say what you've done. Yes, I was president of the student council. I was, debate leader in the debate club. In the mock trial, whatever the clubs that you are in, you're going to put your position because another important factor is leadership skills. They want students with leadership skills. So if you're a president in a club, that's a big plus. But you don't have to be a president in 10 clubs. You have to be a president of the one club maybe that you really love and that you're working so hard in and that you really are showing how much you can do in that club. But it's good to also be in other, maybe members of other clubs, like the math club or the science Olympiad or whatever it is that your school offers. Even the art club, right? That's important too, especially kids that want to become architects or they want to become engineers, right? Then you have maybe an engineering club. That's something that, we're trying to get into our school because we want to create more engineers and more people interested in that. So really, you have to advocate for yourself in your school. I don't know how much they help you with guidance there, but really, you need to go and find out and ask questions. I know I spoke to some sisters before who were asking me questions about, their child's school and worried about maybe they don't have, that the high school is new and they don't meet all the requirements for their high school. You have to go to those guidance departments or to the principal and ask for their school profile, ask for the courses that they offer through high school and see if they meet the graduation requirements. If it's a charter school, I'm pretty sure they do because they also follow the state, guidelines. I know Sister Soha actually has a charter school herself, and I think they have to follow the rules of New Jersey when it comes to the courses. I know they can add additional things on their own, but it still has to meet the requirements. Okay, so I talked about teacher recommendations before, so I can go there. We always ask our students to give us everything in a folder. Keep your resume, keep your portfolio, make it ready. By the time they come in senior year, September, you have to give us this. We need it. We help them with the high school resume. We help with the college essay as well. The English department should be working with you and helping you create that, inshallah. And I usually, ask the kids to keep a list so you're organized. Okay, I'm going to apply to this college, because some kids might apply to 10 or more schools, right? That's a lot of schools to apply for. But mashallah, there's so much out there, so you want to give yourself chances to get into as many schools. And then later on, when you have all your acceptances, you sit with your family and you decide, this school gave me more money, this school has this, what is the best thing that is going to be for me? It's not too far, the school, right? We all have so many factors to think about when we talk about accepting the college that you want to go into. So this will keep you organized, basically, putting the college you want to apply to, the major that you want to apply to, who will be writing your recommendation letters. You need to know all this, and when is the deadline? You don't want to miss deadlines, because if you miss the deadline, then it's too late. If they say it's due December 1st and you put it December 2nd, you're too late. You have to do the deadlines the way they are there, so this will keep track of what you're doing. Okay, and then your school should actually be meeting with you at least as juniors. Now in Ghazali, we're going to start a new system where we're actually starting from 7th grade through 9th, and we're going to continue so we can build that foundation. I know I had a few kids here, right? 7th grade and 8th graders here. 8th grade is so important because next year you're going to high school. right? What classes am I going to go in high school? It doesn't matter. Do you think it doesn't matter what classes you go to when you're in high school? The college will like to see you in some honors classes and some AP classes. So if you were not a good 8th grade student and you had not such good grades, you will not get recommended to the higher classes. You'll just go in, into the regular classes, which I'm not saying regular classes are not good, because they are all very good. They're very strong. But why not challenge yourself more if you can? Because not everybody can be in every single honors class, but some people can, right? SubhanAllah, Allah made us all differently. Maybe you're special in math and someone else is special in English, and that's where you go to honors. But you have to prove yourself as a student in the middle school, in the 7th, in the 8th grade. You're building your character and identity as a student. So that's very important. So usually we'll have workshops for the parents, like this workshop. We will do also individual meetings with the students, meet one-on-one, go over what they want to do, make sure, follow up with them, see where they're applying, and make sure that they're on the right track, that they did their financial aid, because financial aid is very important for us. Colleges are very expensive, so financial aid is something that you have to apply for, and you have to qualify based on your family's income. Not everybody qualifies, but then you might qualify for scholarships, inshallah. And we also have college fairs, and we take students to universities to see the different programs. I think we took you guys, right, to Rutgers and NHIEC and a bunch of places, Keene, and just to see what college looks like. And they actually will welcome high schoolers and high schools to bring their students to the college to see what's there. So that will open up your eyes and say, oh, I really love that engineering lab. Maybe I want to become an engineer. Or, anything there might strike you, and then you pick up on what you feel you like. Okay? And, you have to have goals. Make sure you have goals. What school do you want to go to? Aim high. It's okay to aim high. Columbia, NYU, wherever, Johns Hopkins, all these beautiful universities, but Rutgers is excellent. NJIT is excellent. Montclair is excellent. All of the universities are excellent, as long as you work hard and you get good scores when you're in college. Because now, again, you're going to start all over. You have to build your resume again, all over again. You don't want to start off with bad GPAs in college. Then you go to your interview for work, and we look at your transcript. Wait, C, D. Oh, I don't know if I want that person to work for me, right? Because they didn't work hard enough. That's going to say a lot. So you have to really aim high and do well. And if you struggle, get help. It's okay. It's okay to get help. So these are the colleges, so many colleges that our students go to, and I want all of you to go to, but make sure that you have goals and set them for yourself. Any questions now? I know some ask questions, but if you have any questions, any of the brothers, any of the sisters, feel free. Yes, young man, I think your name is Appa. Mm-hmm. What's your question?
My question is that usually I'm running late to do my homework.
Oh, Habibi. Oh, no. Oh, no, I need to talk to you. Okay? Not all day. You can't do that. It's not good for you. First of all, it's not good for your eyes. It's not good for your brain, right? And you don't like to do your homework. What grade are you in? First grade? Very important. MashaAllah. May Allah bless you and guide you. But you have to work hard. Don't be lazy. Don't not be... Okay, but you know what? Maybe you should put your iPad to the side for a while and only allow your... When you finish your homework, you can have maybe a little bit of time on it. What is that? You don't know how to read that? Well, look at the picture. What is that? What is that? A question mark? Questions. That's what I'm saying. Do you have any questions? And you have a very good question. But please stop wasting your time on the iPad and do your homework. Then be a good student. You can play with toys, but after you do your homework. Okay? Let me answer the brother's question.
Yes, sister.
Now,
Well, actually, I have two kids here in middle school.
in middle school.
Yeah, 8th grade, 7th grade. And they are doing good.
Alhamdulillah.
Yeah. How can we encourage them to do better?
How could we encourage them to do better?
To do better. I mean, they're doing good. I'm not saying
I think, I think you need to maybe encourage them more to see, explore what they like, right? So like try, say if you see your son or daughter really working a lot with their hands and building things and doing things, maybe take them to some programs that are for middle school kids. They have a lot of like different programs you can take them into in summertime, for example, in the programs that you can take them to just, for them to keep their minds busy. And I think also just let them see what they like, let them maybe go into universities, even in 7th and 8th grade, so they can be encouraged, like, I want to go there, I want to see, I want to be a good sort, or maybe have them choose somebody that's a role model to them, like, I want to be like so-and-so, and what did you do to become a doctor? Oh my God, I want to be a doctor just like him, or I want to be a teacher just like her, so encourage them based on what they like. And then maybe bring people into their life that can help them and encourage them as well. Not only parents in their school, put them in clubs and activities and all of that for what they like to do. Yeah.
Yes, as you know, the generation right now, they're using devices.
Yes, yes. That's a big problem that we have in our society.
Yes, so
Yeah.
what I'm seeing, what I'm noticing with kids, okay, you do your homework, you do, yeah, we finish, now we play.
I think it has to be the parents, have to control that more. It has to be a controlled thing, because now you can't just leave your kids in the room with the phone all day long, or I'm doing my homework on the computer. I know we don't want to be too tough on our kids where they, run away from us and do things behind our back, but you have to be open and honest with them and telling them that, this is going to hurt you. You're wasting your time. Can you limit it? Sometimes I don't like to just take it completely away. I don't, but I like to limit it and let them earn the rights to take it as well. Okay, you done your homework, you have good grades, you have all this, okay, you can maybe spend an hour or two on your phone or on your computer, whatever it is you allow them to do, But I know being too strict on them is not good, but letting go, that's ruining our children. Don't just trust them with it and go either, They should earn it, I think, the privilege to have it. It should be, and I personally think the younger kids, they shouldn't even have the phones. Why do they have them? I mean, sometimes when they're in high school, yeah, they need phones, they need to contact, even they're using like Google Classroom and all these things, they might need their phones. But the younger kids, I don't think they need the phones with them. Yeah, I mean, if you have very young kids, they don't need, I know my kids, I did not let them have it until they were 15, 16 years old. And I'm like, you're not having a phone right now. You don't need it.
So, I mean, we do that, but we have to limit, we have to understand that there is one thing. You do your homework, do everything you have to do, then
Yes,
it's okay.
yes,
You have to learn the phone, that's
yes.
fine.
And you also have to make sure, what they're actually watching, what they're doing, who they're talking to, who's their friends. Because remember, good friends make you better and bad friends make you worse. And so you have to, as parents, it's a hard job for us. We have to be careful who their friends are. That's something that you have to do in the parenting. Like if I do a parenting workshop, I can talk a little bit, more about that stuff, inshallah.
Like to do that one time,
Inshallah. Inshallah.
put that in the calendar or not.
Inshallah. I will try. I will try to do that. Yes, sister. Naam. Naam. هي بلشت في المدارس هانسة ولا لا؟ هلا موجودة اوكي المدرسة هلا لازم ياخذوا شهاداتها من البلاد، لازم يجيبوهن يعني من التاسع عاشر والحادي عشر لازم يجيبوهن، والمدرسة تعمل transcript عليهن transfer the credits, accept the credits as the school، ويعملوا لها transcript باسم المدرسة اللي هي فيها. وهلا 11th grade بتكون موجودة يعني من المدرسة، والتاسع وعاشر من البلد اللي جيت منها بحطوهن يعني العلامات. احنا بنعمل transfer credits وبنحطهن على الترانسكريبت، بس لازم يعني مرات بيجوا ما هم مخلصين الحصص اللي لازمات، بنخليهم ياخذوهم لحالهم برا. نعم. How important is reading?
Overall education, because I don't see a lot of my students or kids
Well, well, reading actually, I mean, in the new age, right? In the new age, in the new age, I do blame a lot, you know, the phones and all of these iPads and all of the things that our kids have, right? But reading, kids, it's very important. You know, reading is so important because it builds your vocabulary, it builds your comprehension skills, it builds a lot of analytical thinking and, you know, learning, but also what they read, you know, too. We have to make sure that they're reading good literature. They're not reading, because unfortunately a lot of it is not so good. You know, we have to, you know, watch what they're reading, not only what they're watching. So I think it's important to read. It's important to read things that you like, you know, even if it's magazines and historical fiction, books, whatever, things that you like, you know, but try to read more. You know, I think you should, because it actually does make you also a better speaker, right? It makes you learn vocabulary more. It makes you learn so many things. But I know our kids, wallahi, sometimes I feel so sorry because of all of the things that they're tempted with. You know, when we were growing up, we didn't have all that, so we read books. Yes, this little girl had her hand up. Oh, mashallah, your big sister goes to Rutgers. Are you proud of her? We're proud of her too. Are you going to go to Rutgers too? Inshallah. She must be smart. Any other questions before we end? Yes? Say that again. Well, alhamdulillah, I mean, I wish I was a scholar, but, you know, I'm an educator, but I do hear and that, you know, what you've heard, that chess could be haram, but ask the sheikh, okay? Ask the sheikh, that he would know much more than me about that. Yeah.